guys, so today, because the sunlight was streaming in so annoyingly and was getting lines all over my face, I had to move my camera a little bit, so I'm sorry if the angle is like freaking you out, but I promise it's the exact same place I normally film. It just got like kind of shifted a little bit. Anyway, I am going to be doing a video today on how to make your hair grow longer faster. Okay, that might like ring a bell in your brain because I did this video like a really long time ago. But I decided to do an updated version of it because obviously those tricks have worked because, I mean, my hair has grown so much longer than it used to be. If you guys ever saw me with my short hair, you know what I'm talking about. Click on the video and you'll see how short my hair was. But I'll put a link to the previous video below so you can see me in my early stages. Yeah, it was really attractive. Basically, I am going to do an updated version, and this is going to be more of a version that is what I do to make my hair grow longer. In the other version, which was the first version, I actually kind of did tips that I found online, things that like actually made sense, like vitamins and all that kind of stuff. I kind of talked about all that stuff. In this video, I'm going to tell you guys things that I personally did throughout my like time to grow my hair out. So I can tell you guys specific things that I've done and all that kind of stuff just to like enhance my hair growth. I wanted to quickly give you guys a little mental note to make that you need to check out my vlog channel, which I'll put a link to in the description box. But you need to check it out because I'm going to do a puppy vlog, on those little puppies I showed you in my other vlog, like, or my Christmas video, like 2 weeks ago maybe. Now their eyes are open and they walk around and everything, so it's so much cuter to see them because they can actually move and like look up and like lift their heads up. It's the cutest thing in the whole wide world, and they bark and yip in their sleep and stuff. So I'm gonna do a lot of footage of that and piece it all together and put a vlog of all of those little puppy wonderfulness. Video is up by the time you watch this video. There'll be a link in the description box as well, but if there's not a link, it means that it's not up yet. Anyway, this intro is getting incredibly long, so starting with tip number 1. Basically, I already covered this in my first video, but I stay away from hot tools as much as possible. Obviously, I did not stay away from it today because my hair is straightened and it is not this straight normally. What I like to do is, if I need to, I'll either straighten my hair or curl it with my flat iron one day of the week, and then I'll wear it 2 or 3 days. Not like gross or anything, but like, no, I say like 2 days. 3 days tops if I'm like not worked out and I have like bukus of baby powder. But I try to extend my hair day as much as possible and try to stay away from a bunch of like oily products and things like that unless I'm doing it on my ends, so that I can kind of keep my hair going and not using as many hot tools as I would be if I like, you know, did my hair every day. I talked in my video though last time about how heat does cause your follicles to like produce more hair and everything, and that is true, but the only thing is I don't want to damage it and just have to start all over again because I have so many split ends, you know what I mean? So really you could pick either side. If you wanted it to be long with split ends, I guess you could do more heat, but if you wanted to protect it and make it grow less fast, then you could, you know, not use as many hot tools, which is what I'm doing. Or you can do the safe route, which is that you use moisturizing products and things like that while you're straightening your hair. You know, use protectants and everything to really lock in the moisture that you already have in your hair and to try to protect it from heat damage, which is what I try to do as much as possible. So tip number 2 kind of goes along with that. It is taking hot showers. I already mentioned that in my first video, but I wanted to kind of elaborate on that since I got kind of smashed for saying that. Basically when I said that, I supplied that, what I said, with saying, you know, you need to use a protectant if you're going to be in the hot shower, which I do use a hot shower because it stimulates your scalp, makes your hair go faster, and makes your follicles produce more dead skin cells and sweat and all that kind of jazz. All I know is that if I ever do take a hot shower, which I always do, I hate taking cold showers or lukewarm showers. I want it to be like boiling hot when I get in there. I always put a deep conditioner on my roots, or I mean my roots? My ends, and I try my hardest to keep them as healthy as possible because I really don't want to have to start all over again when I go to my hairdresser and she chops off all my split ends and it's like up to here, you know? Which is no bueno. So I try to keep it as healthy and protected as possible by using tons and tons of moisturizing products. I love my Chi Intense Moisture Therapy. I think that's what it's called. Leave-in conditioner. I do that at least 3 times a week, and I know that sounds like really bad, but it's not like I put it all over my hair 3 times a week. I only do it on my ends 2 times, and then I'll do 1 time where I'll actually deep condition it. But that's just because I'm growing out my hair, so I want it to be healthier as I'm growing it out. You know what I'm saying? On the flip side, if you take cold showers, you're going to lock in the moisture and lock in the products you already put in your hair. That's why when you hear things like, you hear that like brunettes should, you know, use cold water right before you get out of the shower. It's because it locks in the shine you have in your hair, which is really good. Although I am a cold water freak. I hate cold water so much, especially since it's winter. Maybe in the summer I'll do that, but not in the winter. But it is a good idea, but the only thing is it doesn't, it kind of stunts your hair growth for that night. Obviously, it's not going to be like a permanent thing, but if you take a shower at night, you know, it's going to kind of stunt the growth a little bit because it's cold. Tip number 3 is to try and brush your hair almost every night. Now that sounds like something stupid that like you hear that you're supposed to like brush your hair 100 times every time you go to bed or whatever. I don't remember that. My grandma used to tell me that. And I was like, oh, heck no, grandma. But basically what I do is I try to brush my hair every night, and not only just to get tangles out, unless I'm curling my hair, then I might leave it. But what you're doing when you're brushing your hair is you're not only getting tangles out and everything, you're actually spreading the oil and the sebum and everything from your hair, like from your roots, and you're coating your hair down to the tips with it, which is what it's naturally supposed to do. But if you don't brush your hair a lot, it's just going to sit up there and it'll get greasy anyway, but it won't spread anywhere that it's needed to spread, if that makes sense, to coat your hair and keep it healthier, which I didn't even realize that happened until I like spent 3 days without brushing my hair, which is gross, but I didn't do it for like 3 days, and I realized that it was like so dry down here, like bone dry, and like incredibly oily up here, which makes sense. Tip number 4 is diet and exercise. Obviously, I already covered this in the first video, but if you have a healthy diet, whatever you put in yourself will come out of you. So your skin will be prettier, your nails will be prettier, your hair will be prettier. Everything will just glow depending on what you eat, depending on how much you exercise, all that kind of stuff. Exercise actually does stimulate your follicles more and creates more dead skin cells and more sebum and oil and stuff like that from your glands, which will actually create more hair because the dead skin cells actually equal hair, because that is what it is. It's dead skin cells. So if you do that, it will allow you to grow your hair longer, faster. Although at the same time, you do have to like take showers and everything because you're going to be gross after working out. So yeah, I'm not saying that like if you go work out, you're going to be like working out 1 second and have short hair and it's just going to like boom and like pop out. You know what I'm saying? But it's like a lifestyle thing. If you grow your hair out like this, it's more of a long kind of thing. It's a longer process, but it's worth it, I promise. And the same thing goes with like diet and all that kind of stuff. If you're putting like vitamins in your body and taking care of it and not eating junk food and saturated fats and trans fats and all that jazz, you're going to come out with a better product. Another tip is to not do damaging things to your hair, so you don't have to reverse the effects you've been doing after you've grown out your hair. You don't have to chop it off, you know what I'm saying, if you've already ruined it. So for instance, like teasing, using a lot of hairspray, all that kind of stuff, high ponytails. I know that doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but it can cause breakage at, you know, the roots and very close to your head, which is the start off of pretty hair. So you don't want to ruin it right after you've started growing it, you know? I'm a cheerleader, and so teasing and high ponytails and hairspray are like in my blood. So I have to watch that, especially since, I mean, I am always around that kind of stuff. So I try my hardest to do less high ponytails, even though that's like my thing. I put my ponytail like right here. Teasing is the same thing, because think about how awful it is. You're like, basically you're like, you're breaking up your hair as you're, yeah, it's just bad. It's just bad. And then the hairspray doesn't make it any better because it gets it all dry and clumpy, and then, oh, it's just, it's a mess. One more tip that I have, my last tip, is to get a haircut. Now, for the most part, people believe that whenever you have a split end, you need to go get your hair cut because it like makes your, like, stunts your hair growth, like your hair stops growing. I've heard girls come up to me and tell me that, like, they're like, oh yeah, it'll stop your hair growth if you like have split ends. No, it is not that. It's that if you have split ends and they fall off, it obviously makes your hair shorter because you're losing hair length. That's why people always tell you to go to a hairdresser 6 weeks, I think it is. It's every 6 weeks maybe. I go to my hairdresser probably every 2 months, 3 months tops, because I really don't want to have to spend the money. Plus, if I have split ends, I can always just take care of them. If you take care of your hair, you won't have to go get more haircuts. That's the only thing. Because I used to have to get one like every 6 weeks, and then I started trying to take care of my hair more, and then it kind of went less and less and less. Now, if you do have split ends like up the wazoo, you definitely need to go get them cut, which is what my tip is. If you have split ends that are like up to here, but your hair is quote unquote long, it's really not helping you because you're gonna have to chop off the split ends anyway and start over again with shorter hair. So you might as well go get a haircut to get rid of your split ends so that they don't grow even more and just create long, straggly hair. So yeah, those are my tips for you guys. That is my updated how to grow your hair longer, faster video. I did it a little bit less of a severe way. I didn't go into as many scientific facts or anything like that, but because, you know, I'm telling you guys how to do this from my standpoint and what I have been doing to make my hair grow longer, because I have been taking quite a long time to grow my hair out. But yeah, now it's gotten pretty long. I mean, you know, long enough for me. I like it this length. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a great hair day today. Okay, bye.